What's up guys, it's Mike. So I'm in the middle of hitting the chest workout. I'm almost done. And I thought about some really good tips to go ahead and share with you guys when it comes to bench press, because bench press is one of the most popular exercises for hitting chest. Today I'm going to give you 3 really good tips. The first 2 tips are going to be talking about how to save your shoulders. The next one, the last one, is going to be talking about how to go ahead and just build a bigger chest. So let's start off with tip number 1, which is when you're bench pressing, how often do you see guys do this? Grab the bar right here, and I'll automatically see somebody do this. So this looks like the correct form, but the only thing is, if you look right here, I don't know if you guys can see his shoulders, but my shoulders are raised up. And when I come down like this, what happens is, even though you're using your chest, but you're also using your shoulders and your triceps to stabilize the weight. What's the problem with that? You're gonna jack up your shoulders. That's why everybody screws up their shoulders when they bench press, because your shoulders weren't meant to go ahead and push a lot of weight in this position. That's why everybody hurts it. So what you have to do, let me sit up. Oh. So what you have to do is, when you're bench pressing, instead of having your shoulders out like this or having your chest out, what you actually should do is you need to go and engage your traps. When you engage your traps, what happens is you squeeze your traps back. Now it looks as if your shoulders are touched back, but really what you're doing is you're squeezing your traps. So there's a big difference between keep your chest out when you're benching and squeezing your traps when you're benching. Because when you squeeze your traps, what happens is now the weight is being stabilized by your traps instead of your shoulders. So you're still using your chest, still using your triceps, but now if you engage your traps back here, your shoulders don't get used as much anymore. So now it looks like this. And you're engaging it the whole time. You're not doing this. See what I mean, guys? You keep it engaged, and then you do the bench press. I'll show you 2 different ways. First way is the wrong way to how to do it. So grab the bar, see how my shoulders are out? See, like I feel my shoulders already right there. So that's using your shoulders and not engaging your traps. Now once I gauge my traps, squeeze it in. See that right there? See the difference, right guys? From here, boom, to right here. Now my traps are engaged and my traps are flat. My rear delts are basically flat on the bench. At this point, come down, back up, and you notice how my traps are still squeezed. You see, I never lifted my traps up. I come down and back up, my traps are still squeezed. I'm not doing this. I keep it tucked in, and then I just keep doing this. Tip number 2 on bench press today is finishing up that last rep. You're supposed to finish it up right here, and then rack. But a lot of guys will do something like this. They come up, I can't do any more. And what they're doing is they're pushing backwards. And that is a huge no-no, because think about it. A perfect repetition is going straight. But on that last rep, when you're the most fatigued, you do the wrong form by pushing upwards like that. So now you're really compromising your form, and you're the weakest at that last rep. So that's really 2 things that's gonna really jack up your shoulders. So you don't want to go ahead and rack while you're finishing that last rep. Tip number 3. A lot of guys, when they're bench pressing, they always think I'm just gonna do about 4 sets of 10. You know, that's pretty standard. But what I actually discovered though a while ago is that if bench press is an exercise that you feel really well on, you feel really good on, you know, personally for me, I do, you need to do more than just 4 sets. You actually need to do anywhere from about 7 to 8 sets. If you're bench pressing and you feel it really good in your chest, why stop at 4? A lot of guys, they bench press and their chest is built mainly on bench press. But yet they spend a lot of time the rest of their workouts doing other exercises that they don't feel their chest as much. If you're gonna feel the most on bench press, you wanna do the most of what you feel. If you wanna just build a nice big chest, worry about building the chest and getting this slap of meat on here first before you start detailing it out. Because I understand if you're one of the guys out there who has a pretty big chest to start off with already, and you're trying to detail it out, you're trying to work this part and that part, things like that, then you know what? Don't worry about this 3rd tip. Because for you, your goal is a little different. You're now more into shaping and developing a fuller chest. Number 2, always finish the rep completely before racking. Don't try to finish a rack at the same time, you're gonna injure your shoulders. And number 3, do more volume on bench press or do more volume on whatever exercise that you feel really, really good on.
Mike Westerdahl here from Critical Bench, and what I'm going to do is share with you my #1 bench press tip. This is the most important thing and my best tip that I've got, and it's got to do with your elbows and tucking your elbows in. It's basically a bodybuilding style bench press versus a powerlifting style bench press, and it's going to take the pressure off of your shoulders. Now in a typical bench press, and the way I grew up doing it when I was younger and stuff before I knew any better, looked like this. My arms would be out, my elbows just came out to the side, and it put a lot of pressure on the shoulders. I'll show you that one looks like. And I don't lift this way anymore unless you're just typically doing bodybuilding work, just trying to work the muscle, but with very light weight. So you'll see my elbows came out, the bar touched kind of high, and over time this is going to do some damage to your shoulders. It's actually going to hurt as you get up in weight, as you get up in age. So this is the tip. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the bar in the exact same spot, but you're going to turn your elbows in. Now as you come down, instead of flaring them out to the side, you want to keep them nice and close, tucked in. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the bar touch lower on your chest. So instead of up here, it's going to touch below the nipples. And I'll show you what that one looks like. All right, give that a try. You might have to go down in some weight just to practice the new form, but one step backward, two step forward. Over time, this is going to feel a lot better. It's going to save your shoulders. It's going to help you skyrocket your bench press. All right, thanks a lot.